Joining us right now is Armed Services Committee member, Georgia Senator David Perdue. Senator, good to have you on the program. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Maria.
What do you make of these allegations of Russian collusion with the Trump campaign?
Well, I think we heard everything there is to hear last night. The young man's being very transparent. I thought the questions last night on the TV program got to the bottom of what they talked about, and I think he was very open and honest. Look, Maria, we've got three investigations underway right now, one in the House, one here in the Senate, and then independent investigators looking into all this. If there's something here that needs to be looked at, I have full confidence they'll get to the bottom of it. So I'm focused on getting back to the things that we're trying to focus on here to get the people's work done.
Yeah, that's what we want to focus on as well, Senator. But the fact is this continues, and the mainstream media is driving the bus on it, constantly wall-to-wall coverage on the so-called Russian collusion. Is this distracting you? How much of a distraction has this been to actually getting your agenda executed?
No, I don't spend any time worrying about the details of it. We pay attention to it every day. But what we're focused on is health care, trying to get these other things done so we can move on to this tax work that we've desperately got to do later this year.
Senator, this is Rachel Campos-Steffi. I know you want to talk about all the work you want to do. I'm glad you want to do that. But it's just this whole thing with Donald Trump Jr. is so interesting to me. A professional politician would not have turned over all those emails. They would have used a bleach bit and gotten rid of it. And they don't meet with the person that has the dirt on their opponent. They send their operative. In some ways, doesn't the sort of unprofessional manner in which Donald Trump Jr. handled this just prove that these guys are outsiders, and in some ways endear them to the people who voted for outsiders?
Well, I think that's exactly right. I'm an outsider myself, and that's exactly how I got elected. That's how this got elected. This guy got elected. And look, whether you think this is unprofessional or not, what I'm looking at is a president that's working at a business pace, not a bureaucratic pace. He's focused on why the people elect him. That's job one, is get the economy going again. And let me tell you, aside from all the headlines, the work that's going on in the White House is producing results. I mean, what we're working on right here, regulatory reform. Remember, we did get a Supreme Court justice nominated and confirmed. And there's every potential that we're going to continue to get the regulatory work and move on to tax. So this is a president that's getting a heartbeat in that administration. I think they've got their feet on the ground now. They know where they want to go. And all of these things are to some degree distractions. Yes, they're important. We need to make sure nobody's fooling around with our elections. But right now, we're focused, to answer your question, on the day-to-day work to get our work done here to move this economy along.
Senator, it's Kevin Kelly. I'm glad you brought that up, that you're focused on the day-to-day to get your work done. I know that you're one of the senators that wants to stay and actually petitioned Mitch McConnell to reduce the recess and actually stick around and get things done. You mentioned you're an outsider, but the American people want to see the Senate get something done. We're seeing the House is pointing the fingers at the Senate saying, listen, they're focused on the Byrd rule. They're also wanting to get to 60. Why don't you guys just get rid of a lot of these rules that are impeding your agenda, especially on health care, especially on taxes?
Maria, I love it when you have these business guys on here.
Exactly.
Seriously, Kevin, you got it. You got your finger on it. Look, I spent most of my life in the real world where you live, and that's exactly what we do in the real world. Look, in the Senate, we just did that in the Supreme Court confirmation. We actually changed a rule to do that. Look, there's some traditions here that I think are important we need to protect. But right now, we've got to focus on getting the people's work done. We're down a rabbit hole. Maria talks about the debt all the time, and this is something we've got to start facing. The long-term dangers of that are really republic threatening. Right now, we're focused on this health care issue, and we've got to move on, though. We've got so many things that we've got to do, and that's the reason we wrote this letter to the leadership. And frankly, I give the leadership a lot of credit for standing up yesterday and saying, look, we're going to stay here for at least 2 weeks during that work period to make sure we continue to get this done. Look, we've got to get the debt ceiling worked out. We've got a budget to do. We haven't even done the budget for 18 yet. We've got to do reconciliation of the budget and fund the government by September 30th. We only have 30 days, guys, left between now and the end of the fiscal year. We just added 10 days, and if we need more, we'll add more.
Good for you. And do you think you'll get a vote to the floor on health care? I mean, a lot of people are questioning why you didn't just vote on the House bill. They went back twice. They had a bill, but you guys wanted to rip it up and start again.
Well, that's Washington, isn't it? I mean, everybody's got a better way. Right now, we're fighting, the last few details.
So what's holding you back, Senator? What's holding the bill back right now?
Well, I think we're trying to get the last vote or two. Look, we're down, I believe we're down that close. Honestly, everybody is trying to get to a yes on this bill. We have worked the details behind the scenes feverishly for the last several months. In the last few weeks, even, leadership has given us another few days. Remember, we were supposed to have a vote on this a few weeks ago. So what we've done now is we've taken the last few reservations. We've even sent some of those suggestions that would alleviate some of the fears of some of these members to the CBO to get them scored. We'll get those scores back Monday. We'll see the final language tomorrow, actually, we're told, and then have a vote on it next week. I hope we'll get a motion to proceed, though. That's the first question we have to get over is, will this Senate body let us proceed to actually get on the bill and amend the bill on the floor of the United States Senate?
Senator, it's Mike Murphy. As a business person, you know, when you have a deal, both sides give in a little bit. So it seems universal. Everyone wants to get this health care bill. Whether you're Republican, Democrat, everyone wants a good, solid health care bill for the American people. So why not just get together, and both sides have to give in a little bit, but the point is this bill has to get done. And so if you get kind of a bipartisan take, like you would in business, lock the door, and we're not leaving until people can figure out the best plan. Is that something that can be done, or do you expect that done sometime in the near future?
Well, that's my hope. I have to tell you, inside the Republican caucus, that's exactly what we've been trying to do the last few weeks, is really to compromise, find ways to compromise in this, and we have some leaders in that. I mean, Lamar Alexander's been trying to broker that. We have a group of 13, but that's been open to a lot of people. I've been to most of those meetings myself. Look, this is an effort to try to find an 80% acceptable solution, just like you do in the business world every day. Nobody gets a 100% perfect solution in a deal. You guys know that. So what we're trying to do here is to find something that's certainly better than Obamacare. And what we're working on right now, if we pass the House bill or even we pass the bill that we had a few weeks ago in the Senate, both of those are better than the Obamacare situation we have right now that's collapsing under its own weight.